Ignition sequence starts. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
Hey everybody, this is the Digital Asset Investor. And when I was in college, I had a friend, and I remember I bumped into this friend at an Auburn baseball game a few months ago. And he was a guy I grew up with, and then he was one of my roommates when I went to Auburn University. And my friends and I, at the time, we were all single and partying and doing what college guys do, and just going out and having beer and doing our thing. And this guy, we always gave him a hard time because he had a serious girlfriend, and we always joked around about how they were like a married couple, and we were there in college partying, and it was all passing him by because he was going home. And our running joke was that he would go over to her place, and she would have a pie cooling off in the window like he's on the Andy Griffith show or something, because he was that domesticated already, and he was still in college, but he was acting like a married couple. And that was always a running joke. Well, that's what, I don't know why, but the way we used to laugh about how he's having a pie warming cooling off in the window when he got over to his girlfriend's house, that's what I think of when I think of Ripple and XRP. I feel like this is a pie that the cake has already been baked, and now it's all cooling on the counter, cooling in the window. The more that I see as I read and watch these government officials talking and just piecing all of this together, I feel like this cake has already been baked. It's ready to go, and now it's time to eat. And I have felt like that over the last week or so, especially in seeing all this, and I'm going to back that up with what I'm about to show you. First, and this would be kind of part of that, I did this tweet today. This is a clip of Ron Paul on CNBC today on Squawk Alley, and as you'll see, they did something on CNBC that they have not done in a long, long time, and that is list the elephant in the room, Ripple and XRP, in the list of the digital assets. Many of you know the digital assets by market cap right now are Bitcoin, then Ethereum, and then Ripple. Litecoin, I don't even think, it might be number 4, but I don't think it is. But they always ignore Ripple and XRP, and they don't even put it on this list. Well, I said something about it on Twitter yesterday. I doubt they listen to me, but they finally added it. And so I said, hell has frozen over. Ripple and XRP shown on CNBC. And maybe that means something. I don't know. And then this is the actual video clip from ELJA Boom. This is the actual Ron Paul clip. He says cryptocurrencies are great. And he makes the point that nobody is for money laundering or any of those things. He said as long as none of that's going on, he's pro-crypto. And he made the point that he doesn't know how the government will ultimately treat all this. Well, if you listen to the Treasury Secretary the other day, he made it very clear they're not trying to ban Bitcoin or anything else. What they're talking about is just making sure that they got the regulations in order. I don't think they're going to ban Bitcoin. I don't think they're threatened by Bitcoin, because I don't think Bitcoin is ever going to be anything other than a store of value. And I think they know that because they know about the greatest digital asset ever created, XRP. And let's see. After this, now here's where it gets interesting, and I want you to look at all these things and listen well, folks, because this all ties together. This first piece is from @FirepowerFP. This is the best clip I saw today. This is a clip. I'm not even going to try to say his last name, but I'll say his first name is Starman, and this is at the Paris Bretton Woods conference. And in this clip, he does say level playing field, but what he says before that is amazing. He talks about how there's a fascinating group that got together, and he specifically mentioned that the United States signed onto this. China signed onto this. Europe signed onto this. And all sorts of other countries all signed onto this. And he referred to it almost as if it was like some type of platform. And then he mentioned that it would level the playing field. And it's almost like they have all agreed to, reading between the lines, the way it's said is almost like they've all agreed to use a certain platform. And then he mentions later in the same video the word bridge, and all of this keeps on cropping up, and it all just adds up to one thing, folks. It adds up to one thing. It's hard to deny if you're listening to all this stuff every day. The next 2 or 3 things I'm going to show you, they all kind of tie in. And then you've got this. Brian Melancholy XRP at Mike Honcho _11 sent me this. Now this is a tweet from at XRP Boy. Do I have to add the XRP hashtag, or does the XRP community already know this? This is a question on a thread. This is probably an older thread, but it illustrates the point. This is a question. It says, is there anything stopping banks from forming their own blockchain, And then that's not what I wanted you to hear. What I wanted you to hear is this is Joel Katz replying to the guy. Nothing stops the banks from starting their own blockchain, and they probably will. Interledger Protocol and Ripple's payment technology will create a level playing field in which assets will compete. Dollars will likely get huge market share. Bitcoins might too. We aren't trying to succeed at Bitcoin's expense. We're trying to grow the space, and I firmly believe that Interledger Protocol will do that. There are a lot of advantages to XRP, though. It won't be tied to any particular jurisdiction. It will have well-defined and well-understood rules that won't be changeable at one party's whim, and it will have us working to make it succeed. Folks, what I see forming here, look how uncomfortable Libra made the United States. Libra freaked them out. Bitcoin kind of freaks them out because it can't be controlled. So what you're seeing form here, in my opinion, what you're seeing form is a company can't do it. If a country forms a digital asset, it can't work worldwide because other countries won't trust the others. Ripple has positioned itself perfectly to be a bridge for all of those countries. Perfectly has positioned itself to be a bridge for all those currencies. If you really take a step back and you've been paying attention to all this, it really is becoming fairly obvious. Ripple as a bridge does not offend anyone. It doesn't scare anyone. It doesn't threaten the United States dollar. It doesn't threaten the U.S. with some anarchistic thing because they've been working with them all along. It creates something that is very non-threatening, just a bridge currency. And it's not just non-threatening to the United States. It's non-threatening to other countries because it's just a bridge. It's a bridge out, a bridge in, and it's a fast bridge out and a cheap bridge out and bridge in. It's a scalable bridge out and bridge in. And it's genius what's been done. And it's all coming together right before your eyes. You're seeing it if you want to see it. And next, this tweet from Michelle XRP bot. What? This will be plastered all over Twitter land today. Now, the title of this is pure FUD, and that's probably what the guy was trying to accomplish. Donald Trump's Bitcoin takedown signals global currency war. That is not what Donald Trump is trying to do. I don't think Donald Trump is threatened by Bitcoin at all because he shouldn't be, because Bitcoin cannot scale and Bitcoin is mine. Now, I don't think Donald Trump likes Bitcoin. The reason I don't think he likes it, we've already been told. Remember, Corey Johnson said Ripple had met with the White House, and the White House was not comfortable with Bitcoin, the mining being controlled by China. That's an obvious. Those of us that are XRP people, we've been pointing that out for a long time. But the other thing I wanted you to get out of this article is these words right here, New World Order, because this keeps coming up over and over and over and over, folks. The administration is calling for foreign exchange clauses as a backstop in every new trade deal it strikes. HSBC, who's a partner with Ripple, and Chris Larson is on one of their advisory boards. These clauses would ban countries from competitive devaluations and currency manipulation, together, these currencies account for 80% of FX turnover, according to BIS data, HSBC said. Adding currency clauses to all these deals would create a new world order, the bank said. In this new world order, currency market volatility would be limited, but economic volatility would increase. If countries can't devalue their currencies to be competitive, then economies would suffer as exports fall and imports become less affordable. If currency clauses were to become a common element within the future trade deals, it would change the dynamics of the FX market. XRP is going to change the dynamics of the FX market as well. Okay, and next from XRP Trooper, at Trooper XRP. Again, it all ties in. From XRP Vet Diamonds to the Sky, at Matt Marley 52200. Don't forget the document Trump signed 1 year ago today, Executive Order 13772, recreating the financial system, mentioning Ripple. 1 year goes by, Trump, the Federal Reserve, and Treasury Secretary all talking crypto in the same week right before BACT and SBI. And this is what he signed. Financial system that creates economic opportunities, non-bank financials, fintech, and innovation. They are about to bridge the non-bank financials, the unbanked world. They're going to bridge us all together. And what is going to bridge it, folks? What's going to bridge it? It's in your face at this point, folks. Okay. Then Jonathan D at XRP_YD7. It all ties together. Christine Lagarde, today I informed the IMF board that I will resign as managing director of the International Monetary Fund effective September 12th. It has been a privilege to serve our 189 member countries with devoted staff of this institution. To the women of the world, you have said over and over that that women deserve to have positions of power, whether it's in companies or in governments. Well, there you have it. You're looking at probably one of the most powerful people in the entire world, and it is a woman. Congratulations to Christine Lagarde. And then this makes absolutely no sense to me that Barry Silbert is getting this out of what he's seen. We are one step closer to Bitcoin mining being deemed by U.S. government as critical infrastructure. Government will then try to bring mining to the U.S. through financial incentives and perhaps might get into mining itself. Other governments will, of course, respond by doing the same. I don't know if I'm in on that one or not. Chinu Patel, at Chinu Patel 29, sent me this. I think he may have sent me something different. I don't know if he sent me this Sergeant Obi-Wan tweet or not. Crypto News WikiLeaks store now accepts over 20 cryptocurrencies. XRP is not one of them because WikiLeaks obviously is kind of anarchistic, so I don't think they're going to accept XRP. Then the crypto utility guy sent me this. This is from Peter Schiff. Our entire way of life has been built on the privilege of issuing the world's reserve currency. And when the dollar loses that status, all hell is going to break loose here in the U.S. I agree with what he's saying there, but then I do agree with what crypto utility guy is saying. We know he's correct, but he's been saying it for over a decade. By the time it all happens, XRP will be in the background, currency being used under the surface across borders to buy his gold, and he won't even realize it. And then from Mike Preston, at Mike Preston CW12. And this is awesome too. From Armand, at Armand_G. Sounds like Kevin O'Leary wants some XRP. Don't mind the AC in the background. Just wait. And so Kevin Leary is basically talking about FX and currencies and how this or that would really help him. And what he's describing here is if he had a regulated payment system, regulated cryptocurrency that he could put his money in, that it would be very interesting for him. He just described XRP in here and didn't even know it. So we need to make Kevin Leary aware of XRP. I'm the digital asset investor. I'm not an investment advisor. This is for entertainment purposes only. Please subscribe and hit the like button and tell your friends and family that the cake has already been baked. It's just cooling off at this point, folks. Thanks for listening.